Okay. Okay. There we go. Hello, Lorraine. Can you hear me? You might be muted. I set everyone up to mute on entry, but you can unmute. Oh, there's Lorraine. I've got you muted, Lorraine. If you can unmute if you want. I just figure people will come in unmuted, and then you can unmute to talk. Can you hear me? You can hear me, Lorraine? Yeah.
You hear me?
I hear you. You hear me?
I can.
Oh, very good. Very good. So I just realized this. I did a dry run this afternoon, and I realized through WebEx would be the way to send the invites going forward if we have to do another online meeting. Um, we can send the invites directly to them. And the other nice thing about coming through WebEx is then 15 minutes before the meeting, you get an email reminding you.
Oh, good.
So I thought that was pretty neat. The other thing I've done is I've got my phone set up. Um, I'm another, that's PH Kurt 60. So basically, when I'm sharing my screen, I can see what you're seeing in case there's a lag in WebEx. I can see what you're seeing. So
Good.
learning a
Okay,
little bit more and more each time, huh?
it's my reminder to go to the meeting.
Yeah, there you go. I see Chuck is coming in. He said he was, I don't know if he's there yet. Because I know that I was telling him that I think everybody, the first time you go into WebEx, it starts loading and it takes a little bit of time the first time, and you think, oh, it's not working.
Yep.
think you might be there, Chuck. I see you.
This is Teresa Corey.
Hey, Teresa. Welcome.
Thank you.
Glad people tuned in early because I know I said I better get started early just or get tuned in just to make sure everything's working correctly.
Voted most of it.
Thank you.
See, Sharon has joined. Chuck's raised his hand. Yeah. Let's see. From Lorraine, is everyone muted by the host? I can't hear anything. No, Lorraine should be able to hear. Oh, let me. Everyone else can hear me, right?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah, you can be heard.
Okay.
I can hear.
Okay, Gary. Yeah. Yeah, I see Lorraine. I don't see a speaker by her icon, and I don't see Chuck's either. Audio. Let's see. I see Mike. I see. Yeah, I see Chuck. It looks like Chuck and
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yay!
Rain's here.
Trying to get Chuck's asking to speak, and like I said, Chuck, I don't know if you can hear me, Chuck. I'm trying to reach out to you. Because yes, for everybody who's tuning in, I have you come in on mute, but at any time, please feel free to unmute and raise questions. I think it's better to have dialogue than just to listen to me constantly. Plus, I'll know that I haven't lost the connection. Funny story. There's one time in my job, I was doing a presentation. I was 10 minutes into it. It was brilliant, but the phone had cut out at about 2 minutes. So.
Well, we can hear you now, so.
Okay, that's good.
This is Kate Guyon, by the way.
Hey, Kate. Okay, thanks for joining. Yeah, I'm still seeing Chuck is having trouble. It looks like Lorraine is muted, but you can unmute yourself, Lorraine. But I'm trying to figure out what we got to do for Chuck. Oh, Chuck, I think things are coming up here. Oh, I see you. I see you, Chuck. I'm gonna unmute you. Let's see. Oh, Chuck, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I see Steve and
Excellent. Excellent. Yeah, I was saying that I know that when we first tried logging in to WebEx a month or so ago, I felt like it took forever for the software to load, to get things loaded up, and it's like, uh-oh, it's not working, and then finally we connected. So We're getting a good group here.
It took me about 10 seconds, I think, 10, 15
Oh,
seconds.
that's not too bad. Okay, okay.
But then I'm looking at my TV screen over here, my big screen, but there's no camera on it.
Okay.
So I had to open up my PC, you know, so.
Okay, let's see. I'll wait just another minute to see if we get anybody else coming in. Taking a screen capture of the who we've got in attendance tonight.
Yeah. I see Lorraine, I see Mike, Kate, Eric.
Hello.
Eric, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Joining? Good, good.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, well, I apologize for not being able to set this up in April. And then, you know, again, we got a direction from ASQ in March of saying, oh, nothing until September at the earliest. And I'm not sure about September 1st, what's going to happen. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I guess we have to learn to embrace the disaster and, you know, embrace the technology and figure out how we can do our presentations remotely. So,
I'm really happy you could do this.
yeah, so it's, you know, I think
We haven't
it'll
done
be
it yet.
we haven't done it. That's true. That is true. So I'll give it just one more minute and then I'll get started. I think I'm glad to see we've got a lot of people.
I think for 1 second I saw Ben Bonnell over here. I want to say welcome, Ben.
Yep, there's
Ben
Ben.
from our Berkshire section.
Oh, great, great.
You're still the chair this year, right?
No, Amber is the chair now.
Amber's the chair? Okay.
Yep. I'm the treasurer.
Treasurer, okay. Thank you very much.
Yep.
And I see
We may have a couple of people on, so
Oh,
appreciate you guys
excellent.
doing this and extending the invitation.
Oh, no, I'm glad because I said this gives us really an opportunity. I know I went to a Berkshire meeting, years ago, and I just remember the drive out and then the drive home. And it's like, you know, this is one nice way of connecting. So, okay, well, I will get started. You know, I didn't share my screen, but I should have. Well, I'll share my screen. I didn't have my video on because I'm just not a good-looking person. So, but, anyway, let me get
That
started
doesn't
here.
hold any of us back, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, I was being humble, you know. So let me get my screen going here, my screen share, and I will start it. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. And go in here. Bear with me 1 minute here.
I saw Teresa was here for a minute. No.
I'm here, Chuck. Hi.
Just one
Hey,
second.
how are you doing? I can't see you.
Yeah, I'm driving right now. I'm headed home, so I'm not trying not to be distracted.
You're on I-91?
Bear with me here. I am just trying to get my bearings here. Okay. Share my screen. I had the wrong screen set up. Here we go. And okay. And I see that, like I said, I'm in the session too on my phone, so I can see what you guys are seeing, make sure there's no lag or things like that. So, again, thank you all for tuning in. Again, we're going to learn to embrace the technology here and try to do some of these and hopefully have a little bit of fun in the process, but also I want to try to, you know, provide a little bit of education, and thought that, you know, I would use the topic tonight of ASQ Online. What's in it for me? I know with a lot of things happening, especially now that we're in our new normal, you know, being able to use the technology, use the ASQ online resources. We're going to have to learn to embrace those and work with them. And so that's what I wanted to cover tonight. My name is Kurt Moore, and I am the section chair for section 109. I guess I'll go down in history as the one who's had the least number of technical dinner meetings. So that's something that I'll just have to bear. So let me. There we go. So before we begin, like I said, this is our first WebEx session, so hopefully not too many technical snafus. The presentation is going to be recorded. Oh, I'm glad I said that, which reminds me, I better get my recording going here. Oh, I am recording. Very good. So,
Kurt,
yes, sir.
Kurt, are you going to have slides for this also, so we don't have to take notes, or?
Yes. Are you seeing the slides?
We're seeing the screens.
No, I mean, after the meeting.
Oh, yes. After the meeting, I will be posting this out on the SharePoint site as well. On the SharePoint, I'm sorry,
Great.
my ASQ as well. So yes, I will be putting these all out there.
Thank you very much.
And then I've got in these slides, I've got speaker notes. So that's what I'll be going through. Okay. So yes, so it's being recorded, and I couldn't remember if I had set up the WebEx to record automatically or if I had to remember to do that. And again. The other thing, a couple of ground rules. I had set it up so that when people came in, you're mute on entry. But again, please feel free to unmute, talk. I love the dialogue. I love a discussion, and at least I know everyone's still connected. And you know, so please feel free to unmute and ask questions. I will say is if be sure to remute if you have a screaming child, a barking dog, or if you're slurping down dinner. And I won't name names, Gary. So, but this is a technical dinner. It's a virtual dinner meeting, so I figured I'd bring that up. The other thing is chats should be enabled. So you should be able to, if you wanted to chat with somebody during this session, by all means do. You may not have a chance to have seen somebody since February, so please feel free to reach out. Hopefully you're talking about the topic, but it's also good to at least reach out. And if you're having a question, you might chat with somebody else saying, did he say that right? Is that, is the guy crazy? You can at least get, some dialogue going on that and kind of make up for some of the social piece that we are missing. So again, try to avoid chatting with the host presenter. They're one and the same, and I get distracted very easily. So there's a squirrel. So anyway, so tonight what I wanted to talk about was, again, ASQ, what's in it for me, the online resources. And I wanted to talk and start first with our legacy system, the ASQ.org, and getting started. Some of you probably have been in a lot more than I have and can probably navigate a lot faster than I do. But I did want to share with everybody to say there are some things that guests, people who don't even have ASQ access or a site, they can get to. And there's some really good tools there. And then once you've got the member, like you've registered and logged in, there's other things you can look at. And then I also wanted to touch base a little bit too on the member leader access. Then I will talk a little bit about the My ASQ and talk about technical communities, and then a little more about the Western Mass section community that we've set up. And then finally, I'll wrap up with just a quick discussion of the Facebook page that we had put together a while ago, and talk about that and try to get people on that, saying I want to kind of make that more of a social gathering place, so that we can touch base even if it's not necessarily quality or work related. So first to talk about the legacy site, ASQ.org. And I'm not sure if you've been into it lately, but if here's the URL. If you type ASQ.org, we will get to the main page. And one of the things I'll say is when sometimes when you get to this, and then one of the first things you'll see is, okay, you need your username and password, and if you haven't used it in a while, it's like, oh, yeah, now that's another step you have to do to get your password reset and things like that. But Even if you were just a guest or thinking about joining ASQ, I would invite you to look at the homepage and click on home. You can get to a lot of things in the ASQ.org site. And so the things I want to talk about first was what I refer to as the swag, the stuff we all get. There are some pretty neat tools that if someone isn't even a member of ASQ, they can get to and see. And so these were some of the things I want to cover. And so I'll go through some of those. Then once you get your login, which is at the bottom of the screen, and you remember your username and you get your password reset, or if you hadn't registered, you register. Once you get in, I wanted to talk about a couple of things too, like the Quality Progress, which is a great resource. I said for years, I've just got stacks and stacks of Quality Progresses in my mind saying, oh, this is important. There's a good article here. I want to hold on to that, but I couldn't find it if I needed it. And with this, it's really easy to get to. And then also the member leader community of practice. And again, I've been in leadership for a few years, and I still struggle at times to remember how do you get there. And so this was the easiest way to get there. So I wanted to share that as well. So that's ASQ.org. So I'll get into the guest access. Here's the free stuff. So one of the ones that really got me, and again, if you've got somebody who has not joined ASQ, is in a quality role, and wants to see some interesting tools or some good tools, Learn About Quality is a free. You don't have to be a member to get to this, and it's A to Z. We'll tell you all the things and so not only are there definitions, there are PDF files, some detailed information. There's also Excel charts and templates that you can use for different things. So like a Gantt chart example or cause and effect diagram. So there's a lot of great tools in this. And I know when I was preparing this, I was looking around because I said I had seen this site and I liked it, and then I just spend probably a half hour looking at some of these different things. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. So I thought that there was some really good tools here. Another one is ASQ TV, and again, some of those where you just want a 3 to 5 minute, a real quick view or something of a topic. You can tune in, and there are a lot of ASQ videos or TV, and you can get a real quick, like this one was like about a 5 minute presentation exploring 5 different approaches to root cause analysis, and it was interesting. And so again, if you were looking at root cause, a great lead in, and so there's some good stuff there. Another one that's, again, free is the certification tab. And if someone was looking to join ASQ, one of the benefits is the certification and the discount to get certified. But there's a good certification catalog showing what types of certifications are available through ASQ. The other thing that's nice about that, there is another tab, which is the overview. So if you're not really sure what certification you're looking for, there is a really nice pathway tool. So you click on what's your field of interest, and there are different inputs, and then based on that, it would come back with these are the things you might want to consider. So if you haven't looked at that or haven't used it, it's a pretty nice tool. And then finally, the Career Center. So for the job seekers and are looking for things, it's right there, and so you can look for quality-related jobs in the area, or if you're looking, you can specify region and topics or topics of interest or your area specialty and so on. So that's available as well. So that's really that's the free stuff. If you don't remember your password and log in, at least you could log into ASQ.org and you could get to these sites or pages. Then once you've remembered your login and you got your password reset and now you're in, the other thing that I think that I always try to include in our beginning of each dinner meeting is a quick thing of saying, hey, take a look at your member gift bundle this month, because one of the things of membership is you get a monthly gift bundle, and right on the home screen you'll say download your member gift, and this is the one for June, and I couldn't put it all on the screen. The member gift bundle includes webcasts, webinars, articles, case studies, benchmark reports. There's also ebooks, ebook samplers, and links to ASQ TV relevant videos and stuff for whatever the topic is. So it's a really nice bundle. Again, sometimes you might find, hey, I got a free ebook here, and it's covering the earliest ISO standard from the 30 years ago or something. But sometimes it's not the most timely or relevant, but there's also a lot of good stuff in there. The other thing I always think of is, oh, it's June, I forgot to look for May. What was the May bundle? And if you just right at the bottom it says view the monthly content bundle for May, you can always go back and see what the previous bundle was and what information is there. So also nice material. The thing you miss out on the May bundle, there might have been webinars that you missed out on, but that's kind of a nice thing to take a look at on a monthly basis. Then there's the recertification journal, and for those of you who are into recertification, and if you haven't done this yet, I gotta say I do like the tool. You click on the My Recertification Journal, and it will give you all the different pieces. It's like the paper journal that you had, but you can start filling that out now, and you can kind of track your progress and see how much time you have left to go and what you need to do. And so it's a really nice way. You don't have to wait till a month before it's due in that you got to collect everything and make sure you got everything. It's a really nice tool that they've put together. And then of course there's the quality progress. And like I said, I enjoy getting the quality progress. I'll flip through and I'll see like an article and it'll spike my interest and stuff, and then I'll put that magazine on the stack and say, oh yeah, I'll remember that, and usually can't find it, but it's all the quality progresses are available online. And I was going to say I went to or got a degree a couple of years ago, and some of the quality related courses, I used quality progress as a reference, and it was so nice to be able to get to this stuff, and so very easy to search, and it was at my fingertips, and that was nice. One of the things I say is the search capabilities are great. There's an advanced search, and a joke with Gary, a lot of times we talk about our fields of interest are rainbows and unicorns, and so I just for laughs when I was putting this together, I said, well, it didn't come up with anything for rainbows and unicorns, but if I did hit unicorns, selected all industries and looked for the date range from 2019 to present, I got a hit. So it was, I thought the search capabilities are good. You can get access, and I think at this point now, when I get that quality progress in the mail, I kind of look at the subjects, kind of make a mental note of it, but my brain is kind of full right now. So it's one of those things I know that if I need to get back to it, I can go here and pull this stuff up, and it's pretty easy to get to. And then finally on the member leader access. This is again for member leaders, all of the different tools that we have there. So you've got access to organizational information. You can look at what are the key tasks are for the section and for the different roles, position descriptions and what they entail. So if you were looking for what it is you're supposed to be doing, and you can kind of look at that and use that as a resource. Other resources, there are reports and templates available, and then there's also news and dates. Now this is in ASQ.org, this page. But then as you click on this, a lot of this information is being migrated over to myasq.org. And so you'll notice it looks a little different, but that's where the information resides. Let's see. Yeah, so that's a quick look at the legacy system, the ASQ.org. wasn't sure if there were any questions or anything or comments about what I went through. I don't hope I didn't go too fast, but wanted to really get into my ASQ. So if not, I will continue on. So my ASQ, one of the things we had a very old website, and we kept being told, oh, ASQ is coming up with something, and it's myasq.org. And so we are getting into it, and I think we're making some progress there. There are a couple of ways to access myASQ. You can either go through asq.org, and you can get a link there. To log right in is you just type my.asq.org. For the Western Massachusetts community, we have done a redirect from our old website so that if someone types in using the old website, they will jump through to right to our Western Mass community in myasq.org. So we've got that. And then the one that I said is, well, or if you want to go directly and use the URL, you can do my.asq.org/community/home/136. And, that just rolls right off the tongue. And so everyone will remember that. But we said it was kind of funny. We said that someone brought up the obvious, like, hey, if we're section 109, why was our home 136? It's like, yeah, not sure that makes sense, but it was just where things are. But myself, what I tend to do is I create a shortcut, and that would be one I'd use, but or the asqwesternmass.org will take you directly to our Western Mass community within my ASQ. So as you log in, you'll get to this accessing my ASQ, and when you get to the site, you'll get the login. And so if you just in the upper right hand corner, you click on the login button, and then what will happen is you'll think, oh, I'm going backwards, because you click the login and it'll take you to the accessing my ASQ. And this is kind of the old asq.org site, asking for your username and password. So you enter your ASQ username and password, and then that will get you in. Now, if you don't have an asq.org username and password, you can register, and that's down at the bottom. And I know with my mouse, I'm on the different screen. I'm on the wrong screen here, but yeah, it's down at the bottom. If you click the register, you can actually register for a username and password and get access. Once you are in, you will see that you'll have a name. I stole this from Mike. He gave me these slides, so I'm using this. So you'll be taken to the home page, and my home has a lot of information on it, and it's everything that's in my ASQ, but they try to put the relevant information on the home page. And I'll go through all of the pieces, but after you sign in, you'll be taken to the home and page, and then I want to point out some of the features and the different things in the coming slides. So the other thing I'll point out is that in our case, Mike, being a member of Section 109 Western Mass, by logging in and coming into the site, your community will be listed in the My Communities list. And because it's sorted by name in Western Mass, it's alphabetical. We're at the bottom of the list. These others are technical communities and communities related to member leader roles and things like that. But that's how these communities are listed here. So I'll get into that here in just a minute. One other thing is, this is what it looks like from a computer when you log in. And so we'll be talking mostly to this, but I did want to share, because I know some people like using a tablet, or even you can look at it through a phone. And so this is what a PC looks like. However, if you sign in from a phone or tablet, it looks more like this. And when you're first looking at that, it's like, okay, what's here? There's nothing. But if you click on this, the three dashes here, that is the kind of the menu screen there, and it'll take you to the different sections. And there's also the login. So you can, if you just on your phone type myasq.org, and you get that, you just click on the 3 lines there or hashes, and that'll take you in, and you can log in. Then once you are in, and had it before, but now we're back to my screen. You have the in the upper right corner, it'll see that you're not a guest, or a visitor or anything. You're a person, and by clicking there, you can actually update your profile. And so, just to give you an idea of the profile, when you click it, you can add a picture, which I did, and believe me, that's a flattering picture for me. And then you can put in different things about your work, your job function, and a lot of this information is used so that if someone is looking to reach out to somebody, and maybe you're an expert in auditing or something like that, then it's a good way of being able to search. Gary Grubbs and I have a standing joke about rainbows and unicorns. So I set my profile up to have my quality experience in rainbows and unicorns, and I can guarantee that I am the only one in ASQ that has quality experience in rainbows and unicorns, whatever that means. But I just wanted to share with you that you can set up your picture, and that the more information you provide, the better it is for networking and reaching out. And I know after this presentation, I will have to change my quality experience and a few other things. But there's a lot of information here. I just clicked on the one professional experience tab, but there's also other pieces of information that you can provide. And again, the more information you can provide, it helps when someone is looking for, expertise, or, if you're looking for somebody who, you've got some questions about auditing, wouldn't you like to look at someone's profile and see that they've got, 30 years of auditing experience, as opposed to, someone who just said, hey, I've heard of auditing. But again, just to be able to see their background and understand. So yeah, clicking the name on the upper right page, you have the opportunity to update your profile, do as much, update your profile as much as possible, and that helps increase the networking opportunities. So, okay, yeah. So then once you get back to the home page, I just wanted to take you through some of the pieces of this. There are several sections. So when you first open it up, it'll say, welcome to my ASQ. You've got news and announcements. And then after news and announcements, and they've got it broken out by different regions or levels of the news and announcements. Like you have member only news and announcements, you have general news and announcements, and so on. But then you go to the next piece. There's helpful hints, and then after the helpful hints, there's the discussion boards, and discussions can be filtered. And if you scroll down, you'll find that the page, you'll see that there are topics, and they're arranged in 4 categories. There's recent topics, popular, ones that you've kind of flagged as my topics, things I'm interested in, and then there's also some things that have no response. So that's some good stuff there. The other thing I'll say is on this, I'll mention is you can filter. There's a little filter up in the corner, and you can filter by day created, reply count, those types of things. So you can see which ones, maybe look for the popular response or things like that. So that was something I wanted to share. Then you scroll down a little further, and you get to the upcoming events. And the upcoming events at this level is everything. Anything that is in my ASQ will be listed here. And as just like in the discussion topics, there is a filter. You can start filtering it down to look a little more at the ones that are local to you, or is there might be a webinar that's coming up on. And I like using auditing. It's just the easiest one that comes to mind. But you'll see something like that, and you can filter and look that way. We'll go to the next tab. After my home, there's the communities, and so Western Mass has a Western Mass community. And so those are referred to as geographic communities. There's also member leader communities, there's peer group communities, and then there's the technical communities. And this is, yeah, again, to help with networking and, you know, you can look at your geographical area and then look at the different community types. Geographic, like I said, is for Western Mass. It's those interested in a specific region or city. So you could go and visit a, you know, my main office is in Dublin, Ohio, so I can look at the Columbus community and see what's going on there. If I happen to be traveling out that way in the near future or something, I can see if there's anything going on. The technical community is designed for members of, you know, if you're interested in particular certain topics. And so again, when I show them, well, if you look at this screen, I've belonged to the chemical and process industries community, food and drug and cosmetics. And then the other one is member leader community because of my leadership role is there. And so as is the North Atlantic region committee. And then the peer groups are designed for like quality professionals who are part of ASQ programs. And I think some of the examples I've heard of, like the Emerging Quality Leaders Program, and there's the International Team Excellence Awards, which would be like a peer group community. So that is the communities. Go to the next slide. Okay, and now we're getting into the discussion topics. And you know, this is a key function of my ASQ, and the whole idea is to engage with other members, interact on any number of topics, and again, to be able to network with everybody. You don't have to be in the same city anymore. You don't have to be in the same state, so you can reach out to people and get input. So the discussion boards is a place where we're really trying to get people engaged and involved. If there isn't a category or a topic that you're interested in, or it doesn't match what you're interested in, you can always post it in a general category. And then after a while, general categories, you know, if they get enough interest and enough people responding, then they can end up becoming its own topic. So, you know, they try to do popular posts on the topics. So that's the thing I wanted to point out. And again, what I'm showing here, this is in just the overview, myasq.org. It's global. It's everybody has access. Everybody looks at this. When we start getting into our Western Mass community, you'll see a discussion board there as well. And so there might be something that we just want some regional discussions going, or, you know, between our group. But I just wanted to at least share that with you. There are, you know, sometimes there may be topics that don't show up on the general discussion board, but it may be because it's in a technical community or like I said, our geographic community. Oh, the next thing I wanted to also discuss is the search capabilities. You know, while there are remember what I was covering here. Yeah, the fact that again, you can filter on this, or if you are searching again, I'll use auditing again, or if someone was asking about you know, certificates of analysis or something, you could put in a search topic and it would filter down what's in the discussions and you could find what you're looking for. So if you don't see it, it may be hiding somewhere. Like if you look in general, there's 290 topics and 1,290 posts as of this this screen capture, and so there might be something in there you're looking for. And so if you do a search, you can see that. All right. The should have come up. This quote is one of my favorites, is that none of us is as smart as all of us. And I think the discussion boards is a great tool that, you know, I want to, for myself, commit to using more, because I know that we've had a couple of instances in the past 6 months to a year that a lot of members will know people each other and we'll email and say, hey, do you know anything about, hey, how do you handle your internal audits? Or, hey, how about this auditor? And these are true stories. That's why I'm sticking on auditing. But it's nice. We've got a lot of good expertise, but man, if we threw that out to the organization to say, hey, how do you handle internal audits? And these are the problems we're having, or what problems do you have? You get a lot of experience very quickly and a lot of exposure. So that's the thing that, again, I think there's so much power in these discussion boards, and we just need to learn to take advantage of them. The next tab is the events, and you can look at the upcoming events, or you can actually search for particular events as well. And at this level, it's all the events that are listed, and so you're seeing everything. If you need to refine it, then you can do some filtering. And in this, this is where I said you can search events. So if you were looking for some work on pharmaceutical excipients or something like that, I'll get away from auditing for once. You can type in the search event and it'll show you what's coming up. So that's a really nice feature. The other one I find interesting, and again, back a few years ago, I was traveling all the time, and I was going out to Dublin, Ohio on many occasions, and I did have the benefit of going to a Columbus section ASQ meeting, and it was great. And having this is really nice. So if I'm planning a trip out, I can see if there's anything coming up, and it's worthwhile. Or if I am looking for what are the topics, and I want to attend an ASQ meeting, but our section's not having one, and I can take a look and see what's going on around the area. So I really like this feature. Okay. The next thing is the news, and they've got it broken down into three sections. There's the ASQ news, and this is these are so that you can learn about the happenings within ASQ. Their news releases and a variety of other items. It's learning what's going on inside the organization. Then there's the community news. What are the different communities doing, and what's happening in the technical and the geographic communities? So you can kind of it's like the local news versus the national news. And then the one that I refer to this as notes from it says a view from the queue, but I call it notes from the mothership. And these are messages and information coming from ASQ leadership. So there's the news tab. And then next, there's the members tab, and this is showing membership and the primary contacts of the organization. You can access the member directory and have you can get again, this is where you can get the opportunity to reach out and connect with other members who have same industry experience, or in the same geographic area, or maybe you're like-minded professionals that doing the same job, same task, and it's a good way to reach out and network, even if we can't get together. So you can do private messaging or other ways. Same thing. You filter here. You can see that, and hopefully you can see read the screens. But you can look at professional. You can filter on professional experience. Quality experience. There's where you go. If you look rainbows and unicorns, you'll see one name pop out. But it is nice that if you were looking for somebody who has experience in these things, that there are some nice features there. I know we've talked about there are some things from a leadership perspective. It'd be nice to be able to reach out to the section chairs or to, hey, someone's been treasurer. It would really be nice to know that and have that. So hopefully this will evolve further. But for now, it's a start at being able to reach out. Let's see, what else was I going to mention about this? So now then on this, you are by filling out your profile and doing these things, there are you're making yourself available, And so the next thing I wanted to talk about was the settings, your privacy settings. And so if you look up here, you can update your privacy settings. And there are 4 areas that we can talk about. There's the account, privacy, notifications, and subscriptions. And so when you the first tab is your account, and some basic contact information. There's a signature, which I'm not sure what that's good for. There's some other member information that I didn't get on the screen. But one thing that I have found useful, or wanted to make sure I changed, is the time zone. I have done things. I've tried to set up a on our My ASQ site a meeting or an event or something, and it automatically converted to Chicago. And so I'd be sitting there, hey, the meeting's at 6:30, and then when I post it, it's at 5:30 Central Time, and I'm like, well, that's confusing, and so I just made sure that I changed my time zone to American New York as opposed to Chicago. So just something that you might find if you're using My ASQ, that your time zone would be a good thing to check and change. Let's see if there's anything I'm missing on that.
It's probably Milwaukee, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They probably said, default is Chicago time. Okay, so yeah, under the account tab, you update your contact information. You can link to technical and geographical community. Oh, yeah, your account tab on asq.org is where you can fill out a lot of the other account information. The next tab is privacy. And this is how you can control who can contact you, what they can see, what you can make stuff private, or you can share it with everybody, nobody, or friends only. So you can kind of run down through the list of what you want to share with other people on this. So you don't have to, I think default comes in as everybody, but if you don't want people to see your photos or files or things like that, you can filter that and or change the settings, your privacy settings. After privacy, there is the notification. And again, you can receive notifications, and those can be like when someone sends you a private message, or someone comments on your profile, comments on the photos, videos, or files. You can get the notification, or you can choose that I don't want anyone talking about, or I don't want to receive any information when something is commented. You can turn those off as well. I think the default is or the recommendation is to initially maybe want to see what notify all looks like. So this will control the level of emails that you receive. Yeah, again, ASQ was recommending or suggesting you receive all communications to start, but you can always turn things off if you're getting bombed by, hey, nice photo, which is what I always get. I always get those comments. So anyway, after notification, then there are the subscriptions. And this goes back to what we talked about with discussions. And if you wanted to look, maybe you have an interest in recertification, and you can get notifications or subscriptions. You get information on any changes or anything that comes along relative to recertification, and you can do it instantly when they get posted. You can get a daily summary, or you can get a weekly summary. In my case, I wanted to see some My ASQ feedback, and so I just set that up so I get a notification weekly to get information on that. But again, there are these topics, and you can scroll down and see what's listed there, and you can see if you have something of particular interest, you can always set up to subscribe, and you'll get a notification on whatever frequency you would like. Okay, subscriptions and the notifications, yeah. Oh, and after you get the notifications, it's like, okay, so then what? And so I wanted to mention that up here, there is a little bell that gives you an alarm, and you see the little red dot that say there's something in my inbox. And so if I just click on that, I can see what messages or I'll see if it's friend requests or messages. It'll be a little number beside it. There could be friend requests or messages. And then if I click on messages, it would take me to the messages page, and it's just like any other email site that you've got your inbox, you can archive things, you can trash things, and you can also see what you've sent. And so it's pretty straightforward there. But again, another place to check to see if someone's trying to reach you. But it's what I've got is typically the member leader update, and a couple of other things I get notified on, and so that's what I was showing here. Let's see, let me just look. Yes, okay, so now then, that is the my.asq.org. That's kind of the home page and the home site. Then what we've done is we've created our Western Massachusetts section community. And when you open that up, it's kind of our website, our page. And so this is our home page. And what you'll see across here, there are very similar things that we'd already talked about: discussions, members, events, and I think those are the big things. But then I wanted to talk about some of the other tabs that you'll see here. And so, the files, we can store many files and things that might be useful to our membership. And I know Mike had put something out there on our executive guide to improvement and change, and something that, was a PDF that was like, okay, put this here, see how easy it is to get to. Photos, we've taken photos of our dinner meetings and presentations and events, and to have those there to kind of take a look at that. We've also got videos, and after this session, I will post the link from this presentation onto the into the videos tab, so that other members can access this, those who couldn't attend. And then we've got the resources. And the resources section will store things such as PowerPoint presentations and additional information for the membership. One issue that we are seeing, and again trying to get resolution on, is that these are supposed to be, we've set up the resources page to be private, so that only Western Mass section members can access it. We don't want the world to be able to get in and take someone's presentation and harvest it. And what we're finding is, while visitors can't get to the resources tab, resources is on our homepage. And so it's like, well, we got to figure out why and how we suppress that. But just to share with you what we have on our resources page, we have all of our newsletters that have gone out in the past. Again, the notes and the presentations from our dinner meetings. And then we also put some links to some of the other quality related sites that users might find useful. Let's see if I've missed anything here. So again, this the problem that we're seeing right now is this is supposed to be private, and because it's on our home tab, there's a section for resources on the home tab. People can get to it, and again, people that we may not necessarily want to share presentation content with. So that was something that we're still wrestling with, trying to get an answer on. So that's pretty much it for the my.asq.org. Remember that. And then one other thing I wanted to share, and just to kind of wrap up, was the ASQ Western Mass. When we were still using our old ASQ website, which was pretty old and pretty dated, we were saying, well, you couldn't really have good discussions, and there were a lot of things that it was lacking. We said, let's get a social presence and try to get out on social media. So we set up a ASQ Western Mass Facebook page, and this is our URL. It's asq.com. Facebook.com/ASQ Western Mass, or WMass, and like I was saying, the original intent was to supplement our legacy website. So some of the things we were trying to do there at that time was we wanted to increase the contact with members and improve member value. And things we wanted to do was be able to send them out meeting reminders periodically, provide links to other ASQ events, and again, communication. Have quality discussions because we didn't have a discussion board. And then we wanted to focus on the social aspects and make it more interactive. We wanted to be able to give you the opportunity to message other members, and then also provide a little quality humor. Didn't want to bombard the recipients with information all the time, but we figured people go into Facebook. A lot of people go into Facebook to check up on their kids, their friends, and everything else. And well, if they're in there, they get a reminder that, hey, the dinner meeting is coming up. Please remember to register. We figured it was a good place to get our foot in the door. So that's what we've set up. And since that time, again, the quality discussion boards in my ASQ, I think is a better way to go. But I still think we want to keep the social aspects of Facebook going, and try to keep our members in the using it. And if you've liked our page and been in it, we try to send out a reminder or post a reminder of the upcoming meetings, so that if you're going in to check on that some friends from high school or something, you can always you'll get a reminder saying that it's time for our next technical meeting. So we think it's still a viable tool. So that's just to kind of summarize where I've taken you here. Yes.
This is Steve Barry. Got a question regarding
Steve.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
Did you ever get any metrics on the usage of the Facebook page?
Yes. Yeah, that one of the nice things about it, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I probably should have added that to the presentation, because with Facebook, that was the other reason I liked it, was the insights. You can actually get metrics of how many people have looked at in the last 28 days, and how many people have liked your post, and so you can actually see. And I looked. I want to say we don't have a lot of following yet. I want to say it's about 12 people, but that's one of the things I want to give people marching orders is to kind of follow us on Facebook, just like our page. Then we can get that. But that is a good point, Steve, and that was another reason we looked at Facebook when we had our other website, was that Facebook has good metrics. And to be fair, or to be honest with you, right now my ASQ, we're still struggling to understand what metrics are available for us. And at least with Facebook, I can report out on a during our leadership team meeting is, okay, hey, in the last month, this is what we've done. This is how much engagement we've had. So there's some good things to measure there. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I forgot to include that in one of our reasons for using a Facebook page.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was interested in terms of proportion of our Western Mass section.
Yeah, it's
members.
Small. It is small, Steve. But again, one of the things I want to try to do is turn that around here in the next 6 months.
Okay,
try to
and
get
then
more members. Yeah.
My other question has to do with the what you've been showing us, this evening. How new is this? This is like brand new to me. I was not aware of this prior to tonight. All the revamping of ASQ's, web portal and what we can now do with it.
Yeah.
So is it recent, like within the last 3-4 months, that this has come about?
Yeah, we'll say maybe it's evolved over the last year. Mike, are you still there? Because I know Mike was really got his foot in the door, started trying to build and work with it.
This is Mike. Our community went public at the beginning of the year. We had it set up in the fourth quarter of 2019, but it wasn't public. it was a designation. It's kind of like in the beta, and they were just testing. So we've been public since the beginning of the year.
Okay, thanks for that. That helps.
I look at it, I know Mike and I have had discussions. There are things we like. There are things that we think need some work. But again, I think some of the one thing I do like is that discussion board. And then I think once we figure out how to use the files and the videos and the different things, I think we'll have a nice place to store our information for the user, the members. And so I think that'll be useful. But you hit another point that we said is metrics is one that we don't have a good measure of or good gauge on how the metrics will work there. And then, like I said earlier, the other sore spot for us is that we, if you wanted to reach out, you wanted to do a search of the member directory to say, show me the section leaders or the section chairs or the treasurers. I want to reach the treasurer in Berkshire section. How do I find that person? And it's just not obvious how you find that. So, but I work with SAP, so intuitive is just not in my vocabulary. So anyway, so as I said, we went down through ASQ.org, talked about the free stuff, the swag, the stuff we all get, talked about what member access is. I wanted to particularly talk about recertification, and I do like the information and quality progress. Talked about member leader access, showing you the tools and templates, and the fact that those are actually the front end is still the old ASQ.org, but when you start clicking on the links, it takes you into the My ASQ community for member leaders. Went through My ASQ, showed you how to access. We talked about kind of a quick overview of the system and looked at some of the sections. I introduced you to the Western Mass section, and then talked about a little bit about our Facebook page. And so now the next thing I invite you all to do is, again, log into My ASQ and take a look at this section. For those of you in the Berkshire, I don't know if you have a My ASQ section set up yet, or if there's anybody working on that, but you can at least get to the other information and see. And if you want to follow us on Facebook, that's fine too, because at least you'll see when our meetings are coming, and hopefully we'll be getting together soon, face to face. So I'll be looking forward to that day. So with that, I'll ask, are there any questions or comments? Well, I do. Yeah, go ahead.
Gary Grubbs here. Hey, one of the things that folks really need to sort of try to get their hands around, because I've sort of discovered this sort of by accident in the last couple of months. We are now allowed to look at all these technical communities, which is what ASQ once upon a time called divisions. You've got some real serious, high-powered people in various industries. And almost all of them have some pretty detailed webinars. I know the automotive section just did a big thing on, what are the requirements of the automotive industry when you restart up from COVID? The reliability and risk division did a really nice one on the changes to the FMEA process. There's a ton of stuff on the aerospace one, the pharma and food, and they're really very worthwhile, and they're included with your membership.
That's a great point. And again, that's why some of those things for notifications, you can get those notifications from My ASQ. I share that Gary, that I've participated or attended a couple of those that I saw that really sparked my interest. And they sometimes they're lunch meetings. Sometimes I think there was one that was like a 6 o'clock on a Friday night. But this day and age, I guess, where am I going to go? So it wasn't that bad. But there's it really is a nice way, and you can stay connected by like you said, joining those technical communities, and then you sign up or to be notified of those events. And so that's really good. I think one other thing that I might do is I know I covered a lot of information here in a short amount of time. One of the things I've done for work is take little tasks, a simple little thing like maybe your privacy settings or something like that, and do a recording, and I'll post that out on our my ASQ under our videos. So if someone wants to see something about how to set something up or how to do something, I'll try to put some little instructional guides or basic. And I know that it's popular at our work. We don't like to read work instructions, but they can watch a video and get get an understanding of what it is we're doing, what we're trying to do. So that.
Kurt, I think you did a good job of walking us through a whole lot of information, and I for one appreciate that you put this together. I think it was very appropriate and good timing on having this now. And like you said, we have access to a whole lot of information here. It's like in the old days having an encyclopedia.
Oh yeah.
You can look up stuff, you can research stuff if you need to. If all of a sudden you get a work assignment at work, that's one of the things that I always appreciated about being a member of this community, our section, is because somebody always knew how to do what I needed to do. So if you get assigned something really new at work, you can look it up. And you're right, here you can look it up in different sections, different groups. There's a real wealth of information, and you just did a good outline of how to get to it. So
well, and if you need to know anything about rainbows and unicorns, I think Gary should add that to his profile as well. But we'll see. But
I'm gonna have to work on getting a picture of one of my horses with the unicorn on it, just for you guys.
So, well, again, I appreciate everyone tuning in and really enjoyed doing this. Actually, I think it's a good start, and I am I'm going to stop my presentation, which should stop the video. I think. Let's see. I will stop.